You're listening to BleedTV, the only podcast for today's best shows and movies. I'm Cash.
I'm Jake.
And we're here to finally dive into Vikings.
Yes, it is time. I'm sorry that it has taken this long.
It's pretty much all my fault. As was said on Twitter and everything, laptop broke in my possession, cell phones. Very dangerous things, apparently. And then I think I had the tooth problem last week.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a constant either, technology disaster for us.
Exactly.
Hardware problems. It's been sickness, dental appointments. I mean, it has been a perfect storm of reasons why we have not been able to do Viking. Yeah, but here we are. What we're going to do on this episode is
combine the first 3 episodes, I believe.
Or 4 episodes.
Yeah, 4 episodes, first 3 weeks.
Right, but all we're going to do is kind of just tell you how we feel about where the characters are at this point.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way we can rehash all these other episodes and stuff like that. And plus, a lot of it is just chess, maneuvers and things like that.
It's been a lot of good story and character development, I feel like.
But this past episode has really put people where they're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a good place to start. So what we'll do, we're going to run down character by character and just kind of say whether we like how they've gotten where they are now, if we like the way they're going.
Yep. And probably hit like 1 or 2 shock scenes that they've had.
Yeah, agree. So, how do we want to start this out? I think what we can do, I think the best person to start with is Floki.
Okay.
But just because he has such
he's completely different.
Totally off the map sequence of events for him.
Yes.
Okay, so Floki decides he's full on leaving. He's going to leave
everything. He's putting his life in the hands of the gods.
Right.
Which, if there's a character to ever do this for, this was it.
Exactly. So I like what they did and stuff like that. I have no problem with what they decided to do with this character. Finally landing him on Iceland.
Well, even before that, I know, how about that send-off?
It was awesome.
I had goosebumps, chills, my hairs are raising just thinking about it, going back again.
Absolutely, because,
he built a solo boat, which there was a little weird scene of how they moved it from spot to spot, where they just jumped it around.
Yeah, I like Ivar coming up and why you built such a tiny boat?
Just for one man. And then we have a really emotional scene between these two.
Oh, yeah. Well, you get to see that their last time talking shit to each other.
I did love the last time they're going back and forth. Everyone was uh-oh, not again.
Oh, I love it, though, when he's stand up and say that to me. It's I love that shit. I truly will miss the interactions of Floki and the other guys.
Yes.
But it looks like he's coming home.
And it was. And like you said, we do confirm that it is Iceland. And a lot of people, as soon as Floki was introduced into the show, they said he's going to discover Iceland. Right.
And he ends up being kind of the Christopher Columbus, whatever you want to call it, without the horrific history of Columbus.
Yes. He's reincarnating Ragnar's dream. His legitimate dream of just farmland.
Well, finding a place for themselves to settle and farm and stop fighting.
Yes.
So it's this is Floki's new path. They've done some weird things where they've shown, the waterfall running backwards, what looks like a giant, Asgardian soldier stepping out of it.
The crows and everything.
The crows, the chick, the really cool one was the chick who turns into bees.
Yes.
So that was pretty wicked.
And so, I did a little research on this and everything, try to figure out what it was, and what the consensus around from everything that I found was a combination of things. Hypothermia, you get hallucinations and everything from there. But the loss of blood, because he had to cut on his hand, he's putting new bacteria and everything in it.
He put that
volcanic water.
The hot spring water on there, and that, festered it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he has an infection.
And then the main thing that I've been reading is apparently Iceland is a great spot for hallucinogenic mushrooms.
Oh, that would
surprise me. You're just going around eating brand new mushrooms and everything. He's stoned off of his mind.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
It's a combination of all those things.
And you know what you do when you're high like that on mushrooms? You look at your hands.
Yes.
To freak yourself out.
And you look at waterfalls going in reverse. And having Loki, and I like that Loki was the first one that he said.
Was that who it was?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know, like I said, I like what they're doing with Loki. I think this is pretty cool. I'm glad that it appears that it's over, though.
Yes.
Like, they give it
He's
3
going
episodes
back.
of this, and it's like, all right, time to get your ass back so you can do this. Because we've all seen the trailers leading up to this.
Mm-hmm.
All these characters and where they are right now,
They're going to be fighting.
they don't mean shit to where this is going.
No.
So it's like, this is all inconsequential. Not inconsequential, but this is all leading to one place.
Yes, like this is like a palate cleanser. And it's a weird way to start a new season, but I'm okay with most of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have a problem with any of this stuff.
Yeah, and just having we always wondered how we were going to replace Ragnar's silent acting and everything. Well, they just decided to make 30 minutes of 4 episodes quiet. With Loki, because he wasn't really ever talking or anything.
Yeah, agreed. He's kind of he says a few words, speaking to Allfather and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, cool. That's all we got for Floki.
Yep.
Floki over.
Yep, he's coming back over. Cool.
Okay, let's end the other character that was pretty small potatoes for as long as this in his, especially the opening thing of this whole season was a Lagertha entire
tribute
backstory.
And I couldn't have been happier. I'm like, yes, give me my queen, give me the most important person left, in my opinion.
But it was 45 minutes of straight Lagertha backstory. Everything we've already seen and stuff like that, just to kind of refresh your memory.
To let us know how important she is. And, who did we see in all the promos? Who was leading all of them?
Yeah.
Lagertha.
But she has very little screen time in these first 4 episodes.
And very, I hate to say poorly done, or just, the messages haven't hit.
Well,
at least on me, but...
I know, I feel like they have taken away her strength too fast. When Fine Hair is obviously kidnapped and stuff like that, and it's in the dungeon, and she goes down there and just full-blown rapes them.
Yeah, I mean, this is full-on rape. No other way about it. I thought it was really weird. I didn't think he lost any power in the situation or anything.
Well, she just leaves him blue-balled, and, it's a straight power move, but the thing is, this doesn't play well to the fact that all of a sudden, one of her own people is kind of turning on her a little bit. Astrid and her all of a sudden just randomly start fighting.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, and then, I'm sorry, but Torvi, her face just drives me crazy.
It really does. And I know she's the daughter of the creator of the show and everything, but man.
Yeah, I'm struggling.
They don't even know how to write for her anymore because they refuse to bring Bjorn home. And it's just why do we still have...
She's basically just sad all the time because her husband hasn't returned. And she doesn't think he's going to return. And
she has to keep saying, oh, he's a wonderful guy. Oh,
yeah.
And I know we don't even have Torvi as the main character, so I'm going to go off on a small little tangent. Her fight scene with her kid, weirdest thing in the world. Yeah. I thought they were lovers in a weird way and everything. It was way too close.
Yeah, there was some...
that was weird.
Erotic moments involved. But anyway.
But off of her and everything.
Lagertha, what they've done with her, I think, is kind of strange. Is the fact that they're acting like her power is chiseling away constantly. And I'm like, where did this come from? She had such a badass ending to last season.
And Kattegat thrived on her. She built it into a nation, essentially. It started off as little huts and everything, and now it's a thriving metropolis.
Well, and it's also a thriving defensive place because she built walls, defenses, good strategy, and the fact that when the Scarface guy decided to come through and stuff like that, all that was badass. She had that dude on a spit, burning him and stuff like that, getting him to admit that it was Fine Hair and stuff. It was where did her power vanish all of a sudden?
Just because she let Fine Hair leave?
Well, and didn't let him leave. He did escape, but it's okay.
And how do you escape from this defensive fortress? None of it made... I didn't like it. I thought it fell flat.
The Fine Hair escape and the fact that he was able to grab Astrid was extremely coincidental.
And Astrid, we know she's a proven warrior. She's done very well in battle to just let him...
And the thing is, the only reason why she's out on her own is because Lagertha just had a fight with her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's that seemed a little too coincidental. This is not my favorite part.
No.
In fact, this is my least favorite thing of what's going on.
Sadly, Lagertha's portion of the show right now is my least favorite thing, and I'm hoping that they're rebuilding her for whatever reason. She had no reason to be torn down, but I'm hoping that it just comes back up in an upswing
now
that she has Ube by her side.
Right. But in a way, though, I do feel like Lagertha's character, if they decide that she dies this season or with that, she has run an amazing course, and that's fine.
She has.
But I don't want it to be like where she's downtrodden and scrapping for power. I want her to come in strong like she always does.
Yeah, I want her to not have... She has no reason to have to work her way back up. She's done that 2 or 3 times.
She's too strong.
Yeah.
She's proven herself too much. She shouldn't be losing faith with anybody.
Exactly.
The fine hair thing is a big deal that he was able to escape, but it's like... They're blaming her just because she didn't just immediately kill him. And I'm like, man, all of you know she's way smarter.
Yeah, and she's one of our best war generals, coming up with plans and everything.
Yeah.
Like, it fell flat. It didn't feel necessary.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my most disappointing character.
And it is nice, though, to see Torvi still, like, following her unrelentlessly, as we see in the last episode.
100% backing her. That's right. I agree with you. I like seeing the loyalty of Torvi.
And we'll talk about that just when we get more on Ube's side, I guess.
When we get to the Sons of Ivar, Sons of Ragnar, we'll get there. But, who do you want to move to next? Because, I'm trying to think, who are some of the...
I think we just go over to King Harold. You know, like him and Astrid are sailing over and everything.
True. It's tied together, so let's talk about Astrid and Harold. This is kind of surprising.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden he's just like, I want you to marry me.
Well, that was his only move at that point. Like, I don't know why else he would kidnap her outside of the fact that you're thinking about making her your queen.
Well, or just kidnap her and use her as collateral. You know what I mean? Or as a hostage.
Maybe, but the more I've thought about it, you're sailing a long way away to be kidnapping a hostage like that.
Yeah, I agree. Were you surprised to see his home city is actually like a little fishing village?
Yes. I did not see that coming at all. Because we've seen him roll in with, 100 boats?
But it's like that's all this place was.
Was a little fishing dog. It was like...
It comes to find out that all his boats were fishing boats. Basically, that's what the only thing I can assume.
Yeah, but that makes no sense because these were boats that were sailing next to Floki's. You know, a boat master in...
Yeah.
The Beethoven, of boat making.
The boat savant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I thought it was kind of funny, though, because I was like...
Oh, I loved it and thought it was hilarious because, he's like Conor McGregor or something, he's speaking everything into existence.
He's a king in his own mind.
Mm-hmm.
He follows The Secret. You know what I mean? He's like, it's just...
Let me tell you how the secret to success works now that I'm a billionaire.
So it's like... I like this. I like his confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing, to tell you the truth, I've never been a big fan of his character.
No, we've openly bashed him. We've called him fake Vikings all throughout the series.
Yeah, the fake Viking brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always thought that. And then it wasn't until here more recently that you actually get to see them fight more.
Yes.
Especially his brother.
Oh, his brother. Yes.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like, okay, I'm liking him more than I am Fine Hair.
Definitely loving the Black more just because... he seems more realistic in everything. And, he seems more, for whatever reason, the wandering Viking that I want to follow in a battle more than King Harold.
Well, when we get to him, what he starts saying is what makes you even like him even more and stuff like that. But anyway, so Astrid is, of course, completely against this whole thing. Get the marriage and stuff for a long time. You realize he comes in. They almost make you kind of feel bad for him.
In a way.
In a way of how unlucky he is with women. He obviously, they want him to be king of Norway and stuff, but he's kind of just like the chieftain of a fishing village.
He's like a beginning of an anime character or something where it's like he's your main character and you're going to build him all the way up and he's just already envisioned that he's going to be the king when it's all said and done.
Right, but they make it like he has a bit of a drinking problem. He has a bit of wanting to save face in front of his people problem. There's just some stuff in here where it's like, you've actually made me feel bad for this guy. You know what I'm saying? As
he's sitting, because he doesn't even have necessarily control in his own kingdom because Astrid immediately kind of assumes control. Immediately sits down and everything's like, I guess you sit there. You know, he's he's a lovable loser, even though I don't really like him as a character. Like you said, I pity him and everything, but
It's the thing. It's like I feel some pity for him, and I feel a little bit sorry for him.
But I don't want him to win.
But you don't pull for him.
Yeah, like he's a backstabber, so we know to never trust him.
Right, and you don't want Astrid to turn.
No, and like she's staying loyal the whole time. She's like, no, this is terrible. Like I'm going to get back to Lagertha. Then by the end,
just all of a sudden, accept your offer.
I think it just sinks in. It's like I either accept it or I die. Like I don't see any way that he lets her go. Do you?
Yeah, but accept it or die, or accept it or just be.
She doesn't know how to sail.
Prisoner, I guess. Would you? I don't know. Because I don't think he'd ever kill her necessarily.
I mean, maybe not. But I mean, so it's either queen or.
Yeah.
Like a terrible situation.
Or maybe she can play the odds of, well, I'll just accept this queen thing and then just double cross them when the opportune time happens.
But this marriage setting seems so much different than any other marriage we've seen on the show.
No, I'll tell you the truth, I wasn't a big fan of the whale ribs.
No.
It looked fake.
It looked terrible.
I wasn't a huge fan of that. And this looked like a frat boy and a frat sorority girl getting married out in the grove.
I mean, it was very.
I think they went a little too modern with the wedding.
I think so. It was like a hipster wedding.
Or like, do you take this woman and stuff? And like,
I didn't understand why the guy had blue face, like that mask, or I don't know what it was.
But the thing is, we've saw the other Viking marriages and stuff we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
They seem more like archaic and
bloody and
pagan based.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? There's lots of blood
and like this, like it was like watered down blood, and like you just dip the ring in it. And I was like,
dip the ring. I'm like, no, they ought to be drinking some goat's blood or something.
Or something, like killing something to bring them together
and sacrifice somebody.
Yes.
For the relationship to work and stuff. I might be totally wrong. I'm no historian. Maybe this is exactly where we got our wedding traditions from these people. You know what I'm saying? But
it kind of looks like it.
But the other weddings I've seen on the show don't look like this one.
Not at all.
So I don't know. I was a little.
But like whatever, it was the glimpse of like her in bed with Lagertha that made me feel like she's gonna die with Harold.
Yeah, she's kind of conflicted, I think, in a way, because like you say, she still obviously cares about Lagertha, and she's obviously a lesbian.
Yes.
Lagertha is.
Well, I think she's just bi because she, her and Bjorn had a thing too. Astrid and Bjorn.
You're right. God, this is a weird, twisted.
Yeah.
Tree.
Well, and also like they also kind of made me feel like a push between a Lagertha and Ube relationship kind of thing, and I was like,
I wouldn't hate that.
There's technically nothing wrong with it.
No, they're not.
It's weird because like it's
some Woody Allen shit.
Yeah. Genetically, it's okay.
Genetically, they're fine.
Weird dinner if Bjorn ever comes up.
Yeah, it'd be strange. So I'm your brother and your father.
Kind of
stuff.
But also
half brother, half father.
Yes, I'm your father. No, but also quick back to Lagertha, and since we were talking about her, Bjorn and Astrid, she talks to the seer. And oh my God, is he dropping some terrible news for Lagertha? Stop going to see the seer, maybe?
Yeah, don't go to the seer anymore.
Like, this guy has never given you anything good.
And you're just like, I just want to know, when I see your son again, it's like, you'll see him again in the worst possible circumstances.
Is there anything? I've already told you you'll see him. Is there not enough?
The burden of knowledge is awful, is what he says. You know what I mean? It's like,
I'd be like, dude, Odin just lost an eye. Like, that's not that bad. Like, let me get that deal.
Well, the thing is too is like, it's an age old question. Would you want to know the time and day of your death?
Absolutely.
So, but you understand why that's such a polarizing question.
Oh, it'd be terrible because then I'm just gonna be like, maybe if I don't go out at that time during that day.
Well, that's the thing is, do you think you can change your fate? If not, I mean, if it's set in stone, chiseled in rock, there's no way of altering it, no matter what you do. That means you're also invincible up to that date.
I haven't even looked at it like that.
You know what I'm saying? Because I look at it like that. Like, oh, well, if that's my set in stone date, I'm going to go jump out of some airplanes and just not pull my chute.
Hey, guys. We'll just go do the preacher thing to where, you play you put on the bulletproof vest and let somebody shoot you. Let's go, buddy. Yeah. 10,000. 10,000 per shot. We can do this. Because like you said, I'm invincible.
Yeah, so, whatever. That's a question for a different day.
Okay, but Lagertha, please, stop seeing the seer.
Second this I've seen the seer.
And then Ash and Harold married.
They marry. We do get the good scene though where she punches him right in the nose.
Yes.
When they first get there and he's drunk and tries to go
and he comes back out like, oh, I guess I have terrible luck with women.
No luck with women. Yeah, it's like, isn't it? But I love it. They're always like skull. And
yes.
Drink some more. But they do get married. We don't get to see. They don't bed. We don't have a bedding scene.
No.
Right. Okay. So.
Not that I remember.
I don't remember one either. Okay. So, but there you go. That's it for them.
And so I think the natural thing is just to hop over to his brother.
Yes, I think let's do that. So Bjorn and Halfdan, the Black.
Which, like, we looked up his, we were trying to remember his name because for whatever reason, I guess we'd never said it, and we found
we always just call him Tattoo Face or Half Hair.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
So we started to like him and everything. We're like, okay, let's nail him down.
The reason why we like him so much more now, I think, is what he says. He's like, I just want to live my life 1,000%. You know, he's like, I don't want to farm. I don't want to just fight. I want to see everything. I want to do everything. I want to experience everything. Because he's one of those YOLO type guys.
Yes.
Life is short type of guy. He's just like, whatever. You know, this random ass, commander at this place, whatever like that. It's like, I'd like to pay y'all to be my bodyguard. They don't even hesitate.
No,
like sure,
yeah,
absolutely. You know, and that's when they think that this guy is powerful. You know, more powerful than he actually is.
Yeah, well, and I also don't think they have any inkling of what a bodyguard is or does, or have any care of actually following through with the promise. It's just, yeah, let's see where it takes us.
But you see what happens, though. As soon as they find out that he's actually not the big man in charge, and
they move
another
over.
guy,
yeah.
They're already like, hey, we'd like to see that guy, actually. And they're kind of forcing their way into that in a way. I love their little interpreter guy.
How did we find him?
Well, remember, we found him when they went to France.
Yes.
You know, and he just kind of glommed on. He had the maps and shit like that.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed him.
Stuck around. Yeah, no, this guy, brilliant at it.
But the fact that he said, you need to send
all the other ships away.
Of your ships home. Just 3.
Mm-hmm. That way we can actually look like we're traitors and everything. And he sticks to this lie the entire time.
Yeah, yeah. And
that's so important because so many other shows be like, oh, no, we're going to be this now. It's like, no. It's like, you see how few ships we had. We're traitors.
We're obviously traitors. It's like, oh, but it's cool though because when they get there, the guy's like, I wish you weren't traitors.
Yes.
Yeah, I could use some Vikings right now.
Well, it works out a lot better if you say yes.
So they introduce this nun character.
Who's apparently...
So all she does is write and sing Christian hymns.
And is apparently extremely famous.
Is unbelievably famous and unbelievably valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And super sought after. The enemies of this guy are like dogging his heels for this chick, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And he has like a massive bounty on his head for kidnapping her and stuff like that, I guess, is what the deal is.
Essentially a death bounty. Kill him on contact, get our woman back for us.
So this chick, I'm curious to find out where this goes.
Because it's for her voice and everything, but the singing didn't sound all that phenomenal to me. Like, I don't know if...
But I think it's, different language, different tongue, all that type of stuff. So that whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to let...
Let me get your odds on whether or not Bjorn or the Black lays with this chick.
Oh, the Black is going to lay with her within 2 episodes.
You think so?
100%. And especially since... Like, that's what I was trying to figure out with the nun, because when he talks to the translator, he's like, that looked like a lover. So it could be. And I was like, if it's a nun, it's supposed to be a definite no. And so I thought it was going to have to be like a forceful taking in some shape, way, or form. But now they've opened the door for a relationship.
But he said it looks like a nun, but you actually find out it's a spy. Remember that's what he said?
I thought they were talking the spy as in the dude she was talking to.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the actual think that it's a lover?
The spy guy, because like when he's talking to him, and then because the translator initially said he's a spy,
yeah,
and then Halfdan said he looks like a lover.
Oh yeah,
and then he was like, yeah, it could be.
They did kind of embrace each other at the top and stuff like that. But I'm curious where they're going to go with this chick.
I think she's going to be like a Helen of Troy kind of character.
Could possibly be.
And Halfdan and Bjorn are going to just take her with her wherever they end up going.
Maybe another like Auslog type of character, kind of an outsider that's like this gorgeous, this but kind of throws a monkey wrench into everything.
I could definitely see that. I mean, that could be the reason. Maybe she gets kidnapped and goes to Africa, and then that's why we end up going there, if that's something that ends up happening.
I don't know. It's also crazy to me because, like I said, based on the trailers, we know where all this ends.
Yes.
And I'm like, how the fuck?
But we've got 20 episodes.
I know.
Because it's split into 10, and so that's why we could get a lot of story. I don't know if all of these are from the first 10 episodes or not. All the trailers that we've seen.
Something at some point though is going to convince Bjorn and Halfdan to come back.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like everybody's going to be convinced at some point
to come back
to Kattegat.
Yes.
So it's like,
and it's got to be something concerning Lagertha. I can't think of it being anything else to get Bjorn home.
Lagertha is definitely why Bjorn would come.
Yes.
And Lagertha is why Finehair would come too, because that's who he has to take over.
True.
And then Ivar would come because that's the ultimate goal, is kill the woman who killed his mom.
Also fair. And now they teamed up with Ube.
And now Lagertha and Ube are together, so it's like
2 birds, 1 stone.
You know what I mean? It's all forming itself that way. The hardest one is going to be Bjorn and Halfdan.
Yes.
Because they're going to be out of pocket, son.
I don't know how you're going to get in contact with him. And then, because we don't know if Rollo's completely done yet, do we? Or is he...
I just haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
Or seen anything.
And so...
I hope not, man. I'd love some
to see him come back. I don't know how... there's just got to be him rescuing Bjorn or something. I need him to come back into the show.
There can't just be... He gets slapped in the face and that's the last we ever see of Rollo.
No. And especially with Bjorn on his redemption tour. Everyone's getting... redempted. Floki, well, no, he's definitely out on Rollo.
Yeah.
But there's a way we can sneak him back in.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel that would be a huge disappointment if I never saw him again. But anyway, that's way off of tangent.
Back to the original of, what are we going to get with Halfdan and Bjorn? Hopefully, I think we stay here for another 2 or 3 episodes because I've always been a fan of the Byzantites and everything.
The Byzantines, yeah.
I'd love to flesh them out a little bit more.
But it doesn't look like we're going to. They're already on the water heading.
Yeah. And
they're heading to Africa?
I believe so.
Okay, and they're going to meet the actual general.
Yes, the head person.
All right, and, well, obviously...
Or we could be headed to continuing, because we never made it to Sicily or anything, or is that how we found the...
Sicily's where they just landed,
okay.
And that's where this guy was.
Gotcha.
But now I guess it's to Africa to meet the big boss man.
Should be interesting.
Who's an Arab boss.
So maybe, I don't know where the relation is with Alexander the Great, Alexandria, Egypt, or any of that.
Well, they're already saying that the Roman Empire's fallen. So this is post-Roman Empire. This is the greatness of the Roman Empire. So I don't think they're going to even be involved with that too much. Doesn't seem
probably
like.
Not.
So anyway, that's about all we get out
with
of
those two. And then we can move to, I guess, do we want to do Aethelwulf first or the brothers? I think we do Aethelwulf and Haemon.
Let's do Aethelwulf and Haemon. And there's really not a lot to say about these two, other than the fact that Haemon is clearly putting himself out there, wanting to run the show.
Yes.
While also trying to play the role of submissive to Aethelwulf.
He's doing a very bad Vares or Littlefinger play. He's putting himself too much in the spotlight.
Yeah, a Littlefinger style.
Yes.
Right. He wants to. It's like he's like he says, vanity. You know what I mean? He's the vain priest, basically. You know what I'm saying? Where he was his reputation precedes him everywhere he goes.
Yes.
They know he's a huge soldier for the Lord and a badass fighter. And
wants credit and loves people worshiping him and everything.
And it has a super weakness for women, to the point where he's running through thorn bushes.
Oh my God. I don't know if any of our listeners have ever grown up in the woods or anything. That's the most painful thing in the world. Getting caught in thorns.
Horrific. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just walking past and they grab your leg.
It makes me stop and shudder in just complete pain. I'm done. I'm
it cuts a fine slice into your leg. First it hooks your leg.
Yes.
And then it tears through your leg in a fine slice. It's so ridiculously painful. It's like
a paper cut on steroids.
Yeah, it's awful. And that's the thing is, one of them's going to rip and cut on you. The other ones are just going to hook into you.
Yes.
And you're going to have to find that one spot to try to pry them loose. This dude's running through them.
Ripping.
Like it's the Spartan run. I mean, and he's just carved up.
Yeah. And
cuts.
Like, shirtless. Doing this, like, with no clothes, no clothing. No.
And the thing is, no cuts on his face.
Nope. Gotta protect the moneymaker.
I don't buy it.
No. Or maybe the hair gel that he's rocking, it's just got like Teflon or something in it.
Very possible. Very possible.
Because I don't know if Hollister is dressing him or not, but
yeah, he's frat boy fresh.
Hey, I was looking for a tighter shirt. We checked. There are, Teddy.
Yeah. So.
But like, if we can change his look, I think we've almost got the perfect character.
I like him when he's in his full battle garb. When he's just roaming around, I don't love it. Whatever.
It's just the hairdo. Like I just can't get past that.
Yeah, because it always looks like he's rocking like Zoolander blue steel. just at that perfect.
Exactly.
His chiseled cheekbones and shit. It's like, my God, get this guy. But I know that's why they chose him too.
Like, I mean, they picked the perfect cast and everything. Like, I just need the costume tweaked a little bit to make it more seem error friendly.
Yeah, I agree. It's his hair that really bothers you.
Yep.
Because he has like this perfect fade, and then he has gelled up, kind of spiked up hair and stuff. I'm like, all right, come on, it's a little bit much.
Yep. That's what it does it for me.
Aethelwulf, he looks like a just total tool bag at first.
Oh,
to me.
Disaster! Like,
when they get to
he's back in like the
New York, and he brings the map, and he's like, they've not put any effort in repairing these beat down walls. He like smacks the table. Well, that's where our plan is. So it's like,
it's obvious this is where we attack it.
I was like, Jesus, this is a super tool bag.
Yes.
And I was like, I wasn't a fan of that. But then later on, when he chides. Bishop.
Oh my! Like it is in the most previous episode.
Yes, exactly. And he's like, "I see what you're doing. I know what you're doing. You're trying to put yourself out in front of me, even though you are my servant."
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And
I am your king.
It was a great use of his voice and everything, and they gave him his father's smarts finally. Like we've always known this character's been hiding and he's been a shell of himself.
Yeah.
But to like scream, "I am the king." And to feel like you actually are the king. Because a lot of times you hear, like, if you have to tell everybody, you're not it. But I felt like everyone rallied behind him more so by him claiming it.
Yeah, but you could also see where there would easily be a divide.
Yes.
Between the people that would follow
the
man of God before they followed the
king.
Vain king.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there could easily be a schism there. Easily. Mm-hmm. So I look forward to what they're going to do with that. Plus, I've always been a big Aethelwulf fan.
Yes. Like, he always comes in the clutch. And that's why I was a little upset. I was like, I don't need this douchebag Aethelwulf. Like, he has every right to be one.
Well, that's the thing is, I feel like Aethelwulf's prowess should precede him, too.
It should, but he's never gotten any credit as the thing. His dad stole all of it.
Yeah, his dad always put the heel on him, so it's like he didn't get to feel the adoration that he should get.
I mean, because he's slumming it up in Mudville.
Oh God, what is this place?
Is
this a catfishery?
I don't know. It's like rice fields with muddy cat. Oh God,
not good.
And then we have poor little Alfred. Face first in the mud, can't even pick himself up. He's so scrawny.
So this is the stuff I get weird with. Floki's hand healing, Alfred seeing Athelstan.
Yes.
Which I would have loved to just seen Athelstan. That would have been awesome. But
just
for him to say he saw him in what looks like a hallucination to me, but he says, we must go to York. How do you feel about the show has never fully let go of the mysticism?
No, it hasn't. And I was okay with it when we had such a strong connection with Ragnar, Egbert, and Athelstan.
But we've always been cool with the fact that the seer is around, too.
Yes. Well, because he fits the mythology and everything of Norse mythology, and only Norsemen, like the Vikings, are using the seer.
Yeah, and you got to remember too, the first episode of the show ever, when we saw the Valkyries and the weird character in black and stuff like that.
Yes.
This show almost lost me. Like I was just like, oh man, this is so cool. But then they did some of this weird kind of mystical stuff. And I was
especially
like,
with Aslog, like they had a lot of the bad mysticism with it and everything because their parents were the gods and everything.
Yeah, so it started to lose me a bit, but now I'm okay with all of it.
And I'm perfect. I was okay. I just didn't like it coming from Alfred.
Yeah, Alfred, I feel is like one of those shoehorn characters where they're just like pushing him on you.
Like,
it's like this is the last remnant of Athelstan.
Yes.
And really the last remnant of why you give a shit about Judith at this point.
I have no idea why we care about Judith. She can just die.
They show her constantly. And she has to keep that constant hair Leia on one side because her ears cut off.
Oh, God, it's terrible. And she's always in weird positions because sometimes she's leading him at Aethelwulf. Sometimes Aethelwulf is, like, leading her. And I'm like...
Yeah, I don't know what their relationship is anymore. She's queen.
Yeah.
But...
She shouldn't be.
She was also the queen before, too. So it's like...
it's weird. It's like she loved the young bull, then she went to the old stallion, then came back. And
yeah, it's really, really strange.
And now they have their kid, and he looks pretty warrior and stuff.
Yeah, he looks okay, and he takes an arrow like a champion.
Nice little shoulder and everything.
Oh my God! People take arrows in this show. For certain characters, it's like this is nothing.
Yes, Ivar. I loved his little arrow in the leg and everything. But before, I think we really missed something with Alfred and Ivar. I really feel like there should have been like a moment connection, like leaving a chess piece. Really, just because we built so much on their connection last season.
This is true, and and the thing is maybe at some point there will be a
moment between them or something?
A moment between the two where Ivar lets him live. Or Alfred lets him live. Whatever the case may be, I'm just saying it looks like Ivar would let him live, not the other way around. But Alfred's also preaching,
peace and companionship
between them. And no war and all this type of stuff. Wherever you can try not to fight, do that, go that route and stuff. So maybe there is a little... They're polar opposites, though.
Yes.
Him and Ivar.
100%.
So it's like, no peace, war all the time, we fight, that's all. If we die fighting, that's the best death. And then you got Alfred, who's Athelstan.
Yeah.
And, reincarnate, basically. So.
Well, because he's like, if we're going to look at the three brothers, it's like Ivar, obviously, war and everything. Ube, obviously peace and everything. And then Vitzik sitting in the middle is kind of like Alfred. And so...
The thing is, Ube, though, do you just want to go to the Sons of Ragnar? Do you want to move on to them?
Yeah, and then I think we mix in the battle scenes with those three, and then I think we're pretty much done.
Ube to me.
Wait, well, who's your favorite of the three brothers right now? I'm interested to figure out.
I've always been a big Ube guy. I always have been. I like how he fights.
He's always been the most legit and everything.
I think he just kind of has the most even head.
Yes.
We all hated Sitgard.
Yeah. Honestly, I forgot he died. I was happy that it reminded me that he was dead.
Yeah.
And I'm still okay with him being dead. I don't care if it's unpopular, popular, whatever.
Vitzik, I'm usually pretty cool with. I hate his mustache. His mustache drives me crazy.
It's a terrible mustache, but oddly enough, I would say he's probably my favorite brother right now.
Well, I feel like he's the most conflicted, that's for sure.
Yes.
He's in the worst spot. Because now he's turned on Ube and stayed with Ivar. Just because it looked like Ivar was right in the situation.
I think it's just Ivar gave him what he wanted the most. And I think he still wants that battle recognition because as we're seeing, he might be the best warrior. And I think he just enjoys fighting. And he knows with Ube, that's kind of out of the picture. He just doesn't want to be a farmer.
Well, he just has middle child syndrome. Where he's like, I'm not the oldest, so I don't have, rights to this or that. And then I'm not Ivar, who was mom's favorite and the baby and is a clear lunatic, but has respect of all the warriors. So it's like, I feel like I like Ube so much because he just wants to do what's best for everyone.
Everybody. He would be the best king.
Agreed. I think he would.
And I think Vitz made the wrong choice. He should have gone with Bjorn or gone home to Lagertha.
All of them should have just gone with Bjorn, or at least he should have gone with Bjorn.
Yeah.
And he would have saved himself all this trouble. But You can see why not, though. You want to keep their brothers
together. Yeah,
you
want to keep them together.
is kind of on the outside.
Yes, very much so. But I think Vitzik would thrive a lot better
probably so.
in that tripod.
But, I don't know. But the thing of it is, I love watching Ivar on the screen.
Oh, my God. He absolutely crushes it. And him and Ube talking, like... Those are interesting conversations.
I like all their conversations. I like just the routes they're going. I like the fact that they're making Ivar the chess master that he is.
The fact that he's so far ahead of the bishop and Aethelwulf, I feel so bad for him.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you kind of think, I'm like, okay, because then that's where we'll attack. And I was like, okay, this is going to work out and everything. We know Aethelwulf is a great strategist. He's had the best battle scenes of the shows and everything, the sieges.
Those horrific deadfalls onto the spikes.
Okay, I was going to talk to you. I was so excited to talk about this battle with you because they invented ways to die that are so horrible that I never even fathomed in these scenes.
Or not even ways to die, some of them. Ways to be horrifically tortured.
Yes, without even in the middle of war.
And what's cool is they showed Aethelwulf doing it too.
Yeah, they doubled down. He led on.
Step on your people.
You have to. I was like, okay, because initially I thought it was going to be like when we went back to France where they just had the two death spikes rolling in on each other.
Yep.
I was like, okay, we're just recreating that.
No.
But oh no, it was far worse.
Much worse.
And then I was like, how are they going to get out? They're all just going to be arrowed to death. And as you said, you have to make the conscious decision of stepping on somebody, and we see them squeeze down further into these spikes.
Yeah, and even some of your steps, they go through your foot. Oh my God, though! They step on that one dude and it goes through his face.
It's like that slow squeeze, and then you see his hand as they step on that, and it goes through the spike.
It's so gruesome.
And you just hear the man.
Yeah, they pan back a little bit, and you see the guy that's just pinned on it. He's just you can't move.
No.
Every pressure you put on one joint, you're stabbing another joint. So
and you can't do a pity head stomp or anything. It's just a slow, agonizing.
Just horrific, dude.
Ivar, there's a special place in hell for you. Knowing that this was going to happen.
Yeah, this is so dark. And they showed it so many times.
Yeah. And then I was like, okay. So, clearly we're just going to do this twice. But oh no. We get Bishop Haven, he gets the he just kind of knows it's happening or something.
He is kind of wandering around oh shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
lets people move in front of him, stay behind him and everything. Gets in the middle, then all of a sudden, they start flinging oil everywhere. And I was like...
his people start getting burned up. But he just kind of wandered around shell-shocked.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really fighting much. Even when the Vikings come out to fight.
No, when they come out and fight, he slays 15. He gets a nice little montage.
That's what I'm saying, though. But when they first come out, he's still kind of watching. And then all of a sudden, he just goes on a tear.
So do you think it was kind of learning their fighting style and everything? Or was it just kind of shell-shocked?
I think he was still kind of shell-shocked in a weird way. But I love seeing him fight, obviously. Mm-hmm. I love seeing Aethelwulf fight. I love seeing Alfred being a big tool bag and can't keep his own weight.
How does Aethelwulf think bringing Alfred is a good idea?
I don't know. I think it's just you have to bring him, otherwise it's a huge shame. Alfred must go.
Okay, I can go with that.
I mean, not even just a shame for Aethelwulf, but a shame
for Alfred. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's I can't be sat behind and stay with my mom, while the men are fighting.
Okay.
And plus, he has a brother right next to him too. That's clearly going in.
He's seen a weight or two. Do you even lift, bro?
Absolutely.
Come on, bro.
So, I love these battles.
Mm-hmm.
Weird to see Ivar get his ass knocked off. Running through on his chariot.
Yes, I liked it though.
I did too.
And
then you just see him lose his fucking mind.
He just kind of lays there and I was like, he's playing possum. Don't get due to him. 14 little shake slices. Dude's on the ground, and I was like, Ivar's lost it. This dude is psychotic.
But, when he's just sitting there up against the
chariot,
the side of his chariot, and he's just screaming and smiling and stuff. I mean, really, at any moment, they could have killed him.
Yes.
Right here.
And we even kind of see the attempt with the arrow shot that hits him in the leg and then the one beside his head.
Yeah, and then, of course, Bishop stops them.
Yes.
And is kind of just watching him. And
he's just screaming, "Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
I am Ivar the Boneless." And I was like, oh man, his name actually sounds really cool in this language and dialect and everything. I don't know, I loved this scene. I loved the rain and everything. This is one of their biggest promo shots and everything.
Yeah, and I think this is also not only where Bishop finds out what he's dealing with or what he's got to deal with now, but also what Ube sees.
Yes.
Ube sees, oh my God, we're dealing with an absolute
monster.
Just maniac.
Yeah, ego, maniac, narcissist.
So I think this is where Ube also makes up his mind.
That they're going to have to split up. We need a conversation.
We can't go the Ivar route.
Yes.
We're going to have to make peace, because what he wants to do for everybody. Claim our piece of land, farming, and stuff like that.
And he just wants to make that treaty and everything. And before we jump to that real quick, how about the dude taking the spear through the eye? Just out of nowhere.
Just random crazy deaths.
Yeah. Massive.
I'll be honest, a lot of the Vikings battle scenes and stuff like that, we don't actually get to see a lot of the gore.
No.
You see a lot of mud and blood flying around.
Yeah, you see a lot of things happening on the screen, but not actual.
But in this, you see some horrific deaths and horrific injuries.
Yeah, then there's we didn't see the middle part of it, but we saw the end results of a lot of these things. Yeah, and that was an interesting way to do it.
Yeah, there was some pretty wild things. I mean, like I said, the arrow shots. Bishop takes an arrow. Ivar takes an arrow. Aethelwulf's other son takes an arrow.
A lot of just gruesome random deaths. The people on fire. Well done, going all the way. History Channel couldn't ask for any more from
No,
it.
this was just so fantastic. I love watching when they do this. And plus, the show is so pretty to watch anyway. Even when they're in this nasty, mucked up city and stuff like that, it's so cool to look at.
They use cool, just natural fade of color and everything, that dark grizzleness.
It's just grime.
Yes,
that's what I'd call it, just grime.
It's a nice little grime feel coming through the screen and everything, and it looks beautiful.
Your screen feels dirty. You just watch
it. It looks like you're watching it through Daryl vision.
But anyway.
But then we get the conversation and everything, and
we get Ube and Vitzik doing the sneaky. We'll go do a treaty talk without Ivar's permission.
And I felt nothing good about this.
See, I didn't think this was going to go anywhere, but it did do a couple major things. One of the major things is Alfred calling out the bishop.
Yes.
Shouldn't you be a man of peace?
And
he can't deny it in front of Aethelwulf.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as he comes out, he takes his little posse
and threatens.
Horrifically hits Ube with the hilt of a weapon.
My God. And we see the after effects of this horrific hit on Ube, and I was like,
and let me tell you, this is awesome practical special effects on Ube's face.
Oh yeah, and it lingers throughout the rest of the episodes.
But when it's first hurt and he's talking to Ivar, after it's up, his eyes all red
and purple and
nasty cut on his face and stuff, I was like, that looks
phenomenal,
so badass. And the way they were putting him in the light,
yes,
where his eye looked like you could just see the red and the rest of it was blacked out. It's like, damn, this is fucking Terminator over there.
Yeah, I mean, they looked at every aspect of this to make sure it looked as gruesome as humanly possible.
This wound is only going to make Ube look even more badass.
It's going to give him more credibility.
Yeah, he's going to look even cooler now. Vitzik is the only one that doesn't have wounds all over him.
No, because Ube took all the heat.
Yeah, Ivar's even got scars on his face and shit. And fucked up legs. Which, by the way, Ivar, he's this close to walking.
Yeah, I don't even know why he's using that cane.
The crutch thing is that's going to be here for a few more episodes, and then we're going to see the big, crazy scene where he steps out.
Yes.
He's working himself up to it.
And once that happens, I feel sorry for anyone who stands in his way.
Yeah.
Because he's clearly going to be the leader by the end of the show. We've painted it up.
Anyway.
Yeah.
This, like I said, the treaty thing fails. They get their asses beat. They run off.
Then we get the cutscene essentially, and Ube and Vitzik are sitting on the boat, and Ivar just became too dickish for me, I guess.
Yeah, he's rude as fuck. It's like the fact that he can't see Ube's side at all in this, it doesn't make sense to me. He's just too gung ho for the battle. And the fact is, he can't do much of the battling yet.
No, like he's just doing all the scheming and everything, and maybe that's what's bad is he doesn't realize the life lost portion of it.
Well, he doesn't care. That's what he thinks the best death is anyway.
True.
It's like die in battle. You'll be in Valhalla. You know what I mean? You got to remember, he's for the gods 100%.
Yes. I forgot him and Floki are,
right.
Numero with the gods.
So it's like, to me, it's not like I don't like watching him, but I don't like him.
Yes, I don't want to root for him and everything, but I love watching him on screen and everything.
I love watching him. He's a great villain.
Yes.
Villain / good guy? Oh, we don't know what he is.
Well, there's the perfect Viking. He's this guy who follows the Viking code. We're going to raid. Our job is to fight. Our job is, like you said, die in battle.
But what's great about this show is there's no good guys, bad guys.
No.
It's all terrible people fighting each other.
Yeah, it's just like old history. All we know is war.
Well,
that's how you progress.
World history is a history of war.
Yes.
Even from the smallest tribes all the way up to
what we have now.
Full-blown countries.
Yes.
So it's like, that's what the history is.
But it's just like Ivar has no respect for anybody else. Like everybody else is beneath him, and he's going to use you until you have no use anymore.
Right. So we have a boatload of people that support.
Well, I think there was like 3. I think he had like 1 or 2.
Was there?
I think I saw 2 more.
I thought it was a single boat.
It might have only been a single boat. I'm trying to pump Ube's numbers up.
I'm pretty sure it was just one boatload of guys that supported Ube and Vitzik.
Mm-hmm.
And then Vitzik gets cold feet and steps off the boat to go to Ivar's side.
I wanted something between them said.
But in a way, I like Ube by himself.
Yeah, well, yeah, I had no problem with it just being Ube going back. I just wanted Vitzik to be like, I'm not siding with Ivar. I just don't want this.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wanted something to be like, I could come back to your side, instead of like that hard cutoff.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't even mind seeing Vincent go the other direction.
Yeah, just step off the boat and everything.
Just like off the boat and then go the opposite direction of Ivar. Just like say, well, fuck all y'all. I'm not going any of your ways.
I'm wandering.
So, but I don't think he feels safe by himself.
Oh, no, by no means. And he wouldn't have been safe by himself.
So now we have the split.
And
then we get Ube and Lagertha.
Yeah. He goes back over there. He goes back to his wife because he was already married and everything.
The wife he was sharing with Vitzik.
Yes, but that was only in private, so.
Right.
And, he's talking to Lagertha. He's like, look, Ivar's my enemy. And since Vitzik sided with him, that's my enemy. And Lagertha, being the powerful and smart woman that she is like, seems like, I can scratch your back, you can scratch my back. Although I don't know what she's really getting from Ube, since, boatload of people, not the greatest.
Well, a boatload of people, but you're getting Ube. And he's a powerful motherfucker. Because he is strong. He's a badass.
He's a fantastic warrior. But is that worth you taking on Ivar? I guess if you've already got to fight him, it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, you might as well have some friends in high places, for sure.
I just didn't see it being as, the money join.
And plus, you want somebody like Ube who knows Ivar so well.
Yes.
On your side, because that's a strategy.
Yeah, he is going to become very useful and everything, because he's seen how Ivar's brain works in the war.
Absolutely.
Whereas Lagertha still hasn't.
So that could obviously assist them later on down the road.
But he gets back with his wife. He's like, hey, I'm not going to be sharing you with Vitzik anymore, yada, yada.
She puts a bug in his ear.
How are you feeling about her putting the bug in the ear?
Well, the thing is, I don't really like her at all anyway.
Neither do I. I don't see why she's still so valuable.
Well, the thing is, she's been just around the block, basically.
Yes, she has.
She started the major problem with Ivar.
Mm-hmm. By telling, was it Ube or Vitzik that he couldn't get it up?
Told Sitgard.
It was Sitgard.
And then, of course, it spreads. He's like the diarrhea mouth. But that's what turned Ivar against his own brothers, originally.
Was the original wife and everything. And then them marrying her is just kind of...
was slap in the face to him even more. And, but she puts the bug in his ear that Lagertha's power is waning.
And she's spinning it beautifully. She is doing a great job with it.
Right. And it can't be Ivar and Vitzik So the only one that could be king of
Is
Ragnar's
you.
son is you. Bjorn's not here.
And Bjorn doesn't care about us, so.
Right. So, it's like, this makes sense to me, but in my mind, I don't want Ube and Lagertha to have a problem.
No, I want to see them get as far as they can.
But he does make the obvious statement. He says, "You realize that would be me teaming with the person who killed my mother."
Yes.
So there will be tension no matter what.
But like as we all know, like that's just a name. Like I mean, Aslog didn't really care about them all that much.
No, she loved Ivar.
Yes, she cared about Ivar and pretty much only Ivar.
Yeah. So.
And so like, they've already had that conversation of they didn't even really care that Lagertha killed her all that much. Only Ivar did.
Yeah, because you were the one that was so loved.
Yeah. They're like, not that big of a deal. I don't care that much. So I'm not worried about them having problems or anything. Especially with Lagertha coming back out and being like, you could do all this. I haven't given you a reason, but if you give me your loyalty, we'll be okay.
Well, you'll be so much more rewarded just by being loyal to me instead of being another person backstabbing me. I thought this was an awesome statement.
I thought it was a powerful scene. And
then she still ran off. It's like, ugh.
It was like, you have this out. You have this beautiful thing, and it's just like, you're really.
She was giving you the easiest out you could possibly get. Just be loyal to me, and we'll have no problem.
And she's done nothing for it. Like, I love even, I just forgot, what's Bjorn's wife? Toby? Or Torvi. She's like, you were a slave, and look at where you are now, but now that I'm not a slave, like, no one's done anything for me. I was like,
yeah. And Torvi's even said, like, why would you think her power is waning right
now? Like, she's done nothing to show any of that.
Torvi, in a way, is the voice of us at this point.
Like, she's the third-person character that's like, no, you're being blinded by a power that you might not even get.
Yeah, you get this, it's like an overreaction mentality.
Yeah, like I hate to do the basketball reference of it, but it's the greed, like, of the greed of more. She's like, she got a little bit of power. Now she's realized she's married to Ube and he can become king, so she can become queen of Kattegat. And
yeah, she's putting the cart before the horse is what they call it.
Yeah. She's gonna realize very soon that cart's not going anywhere.
But anyway, that's basically 4 episodes of content where our characters lie at the moment. And I'm enjoying the episodes so far.
I thought they've done a great job, done a great story building.
I thought episode 1 and 2 they did it the same night. They could have got away with 1 episode of that, I think.
Well, yeah, because like 20 minutes of it was just Floki being Floki, so.
And 20 minutes of it was Aethelwulf and Mudhole.
Yeah, which we could have completely skipped his and.
That whole part almost could have been 2 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
But there was a few things that I was like, you know what, cut that out of a couple episodes and just bunch it together. That first night was daunting, man. 45 minutes of Lagertha, and then 2 hours of show, and it was like, Jesus, man.
It was exhausting.
And then they put that horrific watch party.
Oh, I do. This is one of the worst things that I've ever seen in my life, and it was so cringeworthy.
It was bad.
Whoever that host was, just quit. Like, never get back on TV, never do any of that. And as you said, I never want to see my people outside of...
Yeah, if they're not in Viking garb on my screen doing their lines, I don't want to see them.
Yes, y'all don't need to be ad-libbing because it was really bad.
No, this was horrific. They obviously need scripts because these guys have no, I don't know.
Repertoire, quid pro quo, nothing.
No improv skill whatsoever.
It was just like, yeah, go Vikings. Wait, we still have time to talk. Shout out to... And we're taking it back in 10.
Man, this was not good. They don't need to do this ever again. Just call that done.
Like, you don't need to be AMC or anything. History Channel, just show the show. You filmed something beautiful.
I will say, I look forward to where the paths are leading us right now.
Yes.
But I'm most looking forward to all of them back in Kattegat.
I'm interested with anything with Ivar, as much as I hate to say it. Like, he's been so far ahead, I'm interested to see what his plan becomes. And I think he becomes the true lead of the show.
Well, I mean, I think that's very possible, but if he's going to do that, I mean, you got to knock out Lagertha, Bjorn.
Which is scary. And I think he's going to be...
That's it. I think those are the two major characters other than Ivar.
I mean, I would throw Ube up there with Lagertha. You don't think so?
I think they're giving him more of a character this season, which I love, obviously, and giving a polar opposite brother to Ivar, kind of. But the thing is, he's still kind of a cog. Because he doesn't actually run anything. He's teaming with Lagertha, who has the power. Ivar has the power on the other side.
So it just depends if he tries to take a stab at Lagertha before or after.
Right. As of right now, he's a second tier to the power struggle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
But now we have some sneaky business where he might double cross Lagertha at some point, but we'll see how that goes. But man, I think that's a good episode.
I mean, I think that's the best way we could have done all 4 episodes and everything. So, you got anything else?
No, I think that's it. Look, obviously, guys, we have Christmas coming up next Monday, so we're not going to pod on that night.
Yeah.
We'll get the next episode of Viking in as soon as we can, but then after that, we'll be on schedule.
Yeah, we'll be back week by week as long as everything runs smoothly.
As long as our equipment holds up for us.
So, until the new year.
Yeah.
Everyone have a Merry Christmas, have a Happy New Year and everything. Thank you for all the love and support you've given us in 2017. We look forward to it and more in 2018.
Yep. And BleedTV, I'm Jake.
And I'm Cash.
Later.